What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at Player of the Month, Thiago Silva. So we was all hoping for Ben Yedder, and unfortunately Thiago Silva has beaten. Personally, I don't know if it did go on the voting system because I can probably guarantee not a lot of people voted for Thiago Silva, but he managed to do it. We've managed to get ourselves a 90 rated Thiago Silva, and is he usable? That's something we're going to discuss in this video and see the good points, the bad points, and is he actually worth investing in the SBC and all of that good stuff. So hopefully you do enjoy this content. If you do and you're new around here, go press that subscribe button right now. I'll give you a couple of seconds. And also if you're down there, you might as well like as well. But anyway, we're going to get into it. So Thiago Silva, 90 rated. It's going to cost anywhere from about 68 to 80k worth of for the SBC, which obviously differs depending on what console you're on. It seems like it is a little bit cheaper to actually get him on the PlayStation for some reason. Again, maybe the market, fluctuations, all of that good stuff. So be aware of that. If I was to look on the market as well, if you was thinking, well, is this player worth it to probably just put in an SBC down the line? At the minute, just looking at the cheapest 90 rated card you can get. Obviously, goalkeeping wise, 40k for Ter Stegen. Then you're looking at around about 45 to 50 to either get Modric or both Modric's. That's why you've obviously got the UCL versions. So you're looking at about 45k for the cheapest 90, and then it bumps all the way up to 90k for Harry Kane. So if you've already got Modric and Ter Stegen in there, obviously then Thiago Silva will become your highest rated player for the cheapest amount. So realistically, the SBC is designed for any PSG fans, Ligue 1 fans, or anyone who just has a lot of coins to burn, to be honest. I did it mainly for the content. Personally, I don't see him playing much in my team unless it is for the icon swaps, because let's face it, if you're partnering with someone who's pretty quick, he's not a bad centre-back. And I think it's the same for Ramos, but obviously Ramos does have that little bit more pace. That Ramos, again, is one of them players that is depleting in their pace, but maintains a high defensive stat. And that's exactly the same for Thiago Silva. He's got 66 pace, but he's got 90 defending overall on the base. Nothing added to it. That is an incredible stat already. And the problem with this card is, because the pace is so poor, you're going to have to put the shadow on it. There's no two ways about it. You need to put the shadow on to make this card really worth anything. So anyway, he's a 2-star skiller, 3-star weak foot, so we're not too fussed about that. 6 foot on his right foot, and he's got a high defensive and medium attacking. So overall, I'm pretty happy with that. The weak foot and skill moves is pretty much irrelevant for a centre-back. It's always nice to have, because the weak foot is always good. When you're kicking out of play, you never know what foot you're going to go to, and to be honest, you're just trying to get rid of it, really. 6 foot, nice for the headers. Obviously, he does have a massive 93 jumping, which allows him to head pretty much anything. He's absolutely fantastic in the air and really good on the ground as well, so we'll get into that. Pace-wise, I've already said 66, 63, acceleration with 68 sprint speed. Definitely needs some work. Passing-wise, vision and all of that, not very good, but he has got 85 short pass and long pass, which actually is probably the only 2 stats that really matter in that kind of bracket. So that is actually really nice from this card. Dribbling-wise, the agility and the balance are absolutely awful at both at 69. He does turn like a truck, and that sometimes has an impact. If you are going all guns blazing with him, you've definitely got to stop that, because he is not going to be able to cope with it. You need to jockey with this centre-back. He will not be able to just go all guns and blazing, and then hopefully you can turn around with him, because he is a bit of a clunky player. Obviously, with that agility being quite low, it does take him a bit to turn around in comparison to some other centre-backs. For instance, Varane, Lenglet, Umtiti, the people with maybe not high agility, but higher than this, basically. He has 85 reactions with 83 ball control and also 89 composure. So again, the stats that matter are not terrible, to be honest. Then we move over to the physical. Like I've already said, 93 jumping, which is incredible, really nice. 84 strength, 78 aggression, and then only 73 stamina. And I don't understand that. I think Thiago Silva is well conditioned when it comes to stamina. I may be wrong. They seem to know the stamina better than anyone else, but I personally don't get why he's only got 73 on this card. I thought at least an 80 would be nice enough. You do find that he does tend to lose a bit of stamina going through the games, so that for me would be a no-go in FUT Champs, as you want to make sure if you are using a centre-back, you don't particularly want to be swapping out your centre-backs. So you want someone with a relatively high stamina. I don't think it matters too much, but in them proper games, in the proper competition games, I would prefer to not have it on my conscience that he's only got 73 stamina. So by the 60th, 70th minute, he may be flagging, depending on obviously how much defending you're doing. If you are defending for your life the moment and just continuously getting attacked, he will lose his stamina very quickly with all that jockeying, all that kind of rundown play and running for the ball. You want to make sure that you've got someone with a very good stamina, especially in FUT Champs. And then we go to the big one. We go to the 90 rated stat, which is the defending. 91 defensive awareness and standing tackle, 93 interceptions, 83 heading accuracy, and 87 sliding tackle. That is a phenomenal base stat on this card. You just can't argue with that. So with a shadow, you are looking at 78 pace, which actually isn't really that bad, to be honest. I think when you look at it that way with the shadow, it's relatively high up there. Maybe, yeah, maybe not 90s and high 80s, but I could kind of deal with 78. I think with that mixed with his jockeying ability and his defensive stat from this, I am actually quite happy with it. 92 centre-back he'd turn into on this. He'd have 97 defending overall. If you went for a few other kind of chem styles, if you was, for instance, going to go to an anchor, he'd get 71 pace, which is, again, it's usable to an extent, but you'd get a 94 centre-back from him. He'd have 98 defending and also 85 physical. So again, it's a nice stat right there. The same with Sentinel, you'd get no pace increase, but you'd get a 98 defending and 88 physical. Looking at Gladiator, 93 centre-back. If you went for Backbone, 93. And then that is pretty much it. They're the ones that you want. Personally, I would go with Shadow or Anchor. I personally would go with Shadow just to boost it out that little bit more. That 7 pace could make that huge difference. And I think overall wise, I was still happy with his defensive ability. Strength wise, I thought was good enough. Obviously, there is always going to be limits to this card with what he can do. Is he going to be able to chase down Mane, Salah, Aubameyang, all of them? Probably not, but can he jockey them all? If you're smart with this centre-back, he genuinely can be a very effective centre-back. You can't be rushing in with him. You've got to have him jockeying away from the player. Let the player come to you. If he passes round you, keep dropping back. And I know that word is banned in every single FIFA video going, but that is how you play with this guy. Anyone with a drop back formation, he loves that because the player's got to come to him. He hasn't got to be chasing anybody. And that's what Thiago Silva's actually going to be good for. He's good at standing there, getting them standing tackles in, getting them interceptions. That's what Thiago Silva does. He's not all about that chasing down the wing or chasing a striker who's gone through on goal. He can't do it. He's not got the pace. But anyway, going into the overall review then. Personally, defensively was absolute a monster. Pace-wise was okay, there is better, and that's obviously shown by who's up there. And then everything else wise, heading was really happy with. I thought in the air, commanded it, real captain like, very good at kind of out in that play. He's kind of always there for that, either that pass or either that tackle, and I like that about him. I think they've portrayed him very well in this game, and I just think it is the pace. Being the meta this year has let him down that little bit more. Personally, he's better than Marquinhos. I think, obviously, Marquinhos is faster than him, but personally, he does not have a touch on Thiago Silva's defending, and I don't think he ever will, unless he gets a really nice special card. Then we have Eder Militao, who I believe is an absolute animal. Someone that I've picked up and really, really enjoyed using, and even loved his base card. His gold card was absolute monster-like. For an 81, I think he was. A really, really sensational player right there. And we all knew it once they had that transfer rumour, and then obviously it went through. We knew that was going to be a good card in the next game. Obviously, like I said, 60 to 80k, practically fluctuating at the minute just because obviously it's only just come out. And then I'm giving him a 6 out of 10 for FUT Champs and a 6 out of 10 for overall, with a 7 out of 10 for value for coins. The value for coins mainly because the SBC later down the line, obviously with icon SBCs coming back potentially, we could see these sort of high rated players rocket up in price. So I think realistically that's not a bad one to put in. And overall, I just love the card design, to be honest. It doesn't matter who's on it. I like the card design. I'm going to do it if I can do it. And then, like I say, the overall, he is pretty much average when it comes to FUT Champs and actual competitiveness. Personally, it doesn't work in my play style, as I'm a very aggressive defender. I do make mistakes doing that, but I just can't hold back. I can't drop back. It doesn't work for me. Letting the opponent apply that pressure doesn't work for me. So that is why Thiago Silva will only have his limitations personally in my game style and in probably most other people's. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave that like button down below and subscribe for more content with the bell button on, and I'll see you all for the next one.